Hey guys, welcome back. I just finished firing this. This is what a clay sculpture looks like after you bake it. And as you can tell, there are no cracks. I'm sure there's like little fractures here and there. But as of right now, I cannot see anything that has broken. And that is the power of using grog clay. So grog clay has got little particles in there of fired clay that really help the firing. If you were to use a water clay without the grog, it might not fire as well as this. That's why I recommend it. I'll put a link below to a place where you can buy this sort of clay. Around me, this is called Virginia Red, but clay depends on the area that you live in. And I'm in the Washington, D.C. area, so this is the clay that's most readily available that you can buy. And it's fairly cheap, and I'm pretty pleased with it. There's different types of clay, some are darker. You could even get white clay if you wanted. I prefer the red clay. I like how it looks. I like how it looks like when it's wet. And what we're going to do in this video, we are going to be painting this. Now, there's a couple of things you can do, and I've done videos in the past of how to stain a sculpture. It's something that I've struggled with before. I've even used like spray paint, and I don't recommend that. You could get various paints like burnt sienna. This is airbrushing paint that you could use. You can go to Michael's and get decor paint. Like this is gold decor paint. If you wanted to give it a coat of gold and then paint over it. That's the thing I'm learning, is that if you want your sculptures to look better, you have to really take some time and paint it. Paint is more stuff that you can get. This one I really recommend. I'll put a link in the description below. This is expensive, but it's well worth it. It's by Modern Masters, and it's oxidizing bronze paint. And you just put like a coat of it, and then wait a little bit, let it dry a little, put another coat, and then there's a oxidizing spray that I don't have anymore. And you just spray it on your sculpture, and it actually ages, kind of like a bronze sculpture. And I love that because this is quick to do, and it gives you results that are extremely nice. Look at my Plague Doctor sculpture. I did that for it, and I really love how it is. It gets these tinges of green that it looks like it's really stained from age, and I love it. So Modern Masters. But that's an expensive thing. And of course, you can get different types of gold. This one is like a more yellow. This one is a bronzer. It's like more of a bronze. But yeah, $9 for each one of these. These last quite a bit. And if you do 3D scans and you print them out, you can use this on your 3D scans. That's why like I always get white plastic if I'm printing, because I want to try the different styles of color before I paint something like this with the terracotta. Now, one of the dangers of painting over the terracotta is that terracotta itself is very beautiful, and you might not want to, cover it too much. And here's another thing that you could consider is using an airbrush and just giving it a light coat of whatever paint. But for that, you're going to have to use diluted type of paint like this. This is by Createx Airbrush Colors. This is a blue. I'm not going to be using that. I prefer to use earth tones on sculptures like burnt siennas, burnt umbers, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing with this, but one thing I've also done in the past, and this is what I recommend, because I love the clay so much that this brown wax, just putting brown wax over this makes it look really nice. So this is the paint that I chose to go with, and I'm just going to put a light coat. I don't want to even use too much of it, but I do like how this looks with the patina, and I just want to see if it will come through a little bit, because I'm going to put some other colors on top. I'm going to put that there. It's so funny seeing the particles of metal in this paint. This Modern Master stuff is really good. I really recommend you guys check out their website, Modern Masters. So I'm just going to paint this through really quick. And this dries pretty fast. It's acrylic based, I believe. Most of the paints I use are acrylic based. They're like nicer to use inside. So I'm trying to keep this very loose. And even if I show a little bit of the clay underneath, it'll be fine. But this one's really porous. It absorbs almost right away into the sculpture. Now, some people might not like this, and in the past, I actually kind of shy away from this because if I do something in terracotta, the actual clay is so beautiful that you don't want to hide it too much. But for this one, I kind of want to make it a little bit different. So we'll see what we can do. So this is finished drying, and the next step is to give it the patina. So this is like one solid color. You know, it doesn't look great, so we want to have a little bit more interest. So I have a little bottle I cut, and I have some water in there. For this mixture, we're going to use blue, green, mix it together, and add a little bit of white. I have plenty of white. The paint is going to be almost white. So the blue and the green kind of cancel each other, create a little bit of a neutral. And this is airbrush paint. If you don't have airbrush paint, it's really just very liquidy acrylic. I'm just going to pour it into here. That's the blue. Now the green. So it's like equal amounts. You don't want it to be too blue or too green. Good thing about this, you can actually mix it like this. So right now it is, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's a little bit too on the bluish side. So I'm just going to add a little bit more green. The best thing about these paints is really just they're almost liquidy form. They're liquid form because they have to go through an airbrush. And all I do is try to create a nice halfway of the green and the blue. So if it's too blue, okay, I was not expecting that, but that's this plastic thing. Oh my God. All right. I got paint all over the sculpture. All right. Oh my God. I was not expecting this. I never had this happen. Guys, I am back after cleaning up this mess. Made such a big mess. So now, let's continue. This mix is a little bit too bluish, so we need a little bit more white. For some reason, I thought I was recording this process, but I used a very thick brush like this, and I just let it drip. I thought I had this on video, so I'm sorry. But this is just the patina that I'm doing here. And just make sure that every little bit of it is on there. Get into the crevices in the arms and get it really watery. That's the trick of this. It's a really liquidy type of application. Look at this. And I'm going to get a smaller brush because I have to get into the folds. Yeah, like underneath the foot. And I'm going to get some more water here. Just diluting this as much as possible. So the more water, the less power the paint has, the pigment, because I want to get some of this away from the bottom of the foot. Is that. So if you want to highlight anything, just take more water, just kind of rub it all over. A lot of water kind of got into the lap, which is fine. All of this is going to eventually evaporate. You can even do this and let it flow down. Those stains are actually going to look very natural, but I want to make sure I get some of that paint inside here because this part is important. Push this away because I want less pigment on the base. All right, this has dried up nicely. There's no spots. I did take some water and I just sprayed this on the sculpture just because I didn't want it to be as blue as it was. So what I'm going to be doing now is doing the next phase, which involves a couple of things, which is the wax and shoe polish. This is the shoe polish I use. It's like kiwi. And what you can do is just like rub it all over. It tones things down, makes it a little bit grittier. You don't have to, but if it's too blue, for example, it kind of helps. And just take a cloth. I'll take a cloth like this. And I will just take some of that. Just kind of do that. It kind of tones down the blue. And I'll do this for a while. Because you don't want it to be too blue. You want it to be a little different. Face, just a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cloth and I'm just going to buff it. It's going to dissolve, that way you don't leave those marks. Hey guys, that is the shoe polish, and I'll probably add another coat, but what I'm going to be doing now is this New England brown wax, and I'm going to be putting it generously over the sculpture. This wax is really one of the best things, and even with terracotta, it looks great. Like if you put this over just clay, there's like a certain je ne sais quoi that I really love. You can see the actual clay without it being that kind of grungy red brick. It gives it a much nicer texture, much deeper texture than you would with just leaving it painted. It's just really beautiful. New England brown wax. I'll put it in the link below. And I'm going to be putting it just all over the sculpture. Okay, so I have finished applying the wax, and now it's just the process of buffing. This is going to take quite a bit of time. You're going to use quite a few cloths here. But the beauty is that, like where the shoulder is, if you start buffing, you'll see that results almost right away. Plus, combined with the bluish tinge, it's going to look nice. That's the beauty of terracotta. It's got a lot of flexibility. You don't have to make a mold.